morning. Welcome to the Cyrano's Place channel. I'm Coach Cass, and today we have something special for you. Did you hear that music? Wasn't that awesome? I love that stuff. It was written by a fencing coach named Rudy Volkmann, who's a retired music professor and also a fencing coach who wrote one of the few books, Magnum Libre, the escrime, on fencing. This is one of the few books out there that is kind of an encyclopedia of fencing that was written in English by my buddy Rudy. And if you're interested in this book, down below there's a link as to how to get it. Rudy is one of those rare, wonderful people who loves to teach. I've known him since I was a junior, years ago, back when, dinosaurs fenced like T-Rex. He was, and he's going to tell us about how to put a little zing in your lunge with kicking your front foot. So let's hear what Rudy's got to say.
Hi, I'm Rudy Volkmann, and I made this little video for my friend Sarah Cass for her friends at Cyrano's Place. Today, I would like to talk about the use of the legs in the lunge. Now, if you have a pretty nice lunge, final lunge position, but you feel you're a little slow getting there, or you'd just like to speed it up, the problem may well be with your front leg kick. So I'm here to talk about how to kickstart your lunge. That was a bad joke, but Sarah told me to keep it light and humorous. Unless you paid special attention to your front leg kick, you're probably not getting optimum use out of it. That is, your leg's probably getting out in good time to do a nice landing, but you're not really using that kick to pull yourself forward. And we also know that all lunges actually begin with an extension of the arm. So let's talk about the legs. Now, it's pretty obvious that in your on guard position, your back leg isn't really in a position to push you forward. In fact, if you drive with your back leg, it basically pushes you up and not forward. So somehow you have to get your hips from here to get an effective lunge. Now, most beginners, and frankly, a few experienced fencers I know, do this by throwing the upper body and then doing a kick to drive themselves forward. In the process, they're reaching out with their front leg so they can land more or less properly, but they're not really getting any forward use out of that front leg. Essentially, they're moving both legs at the same time. And this makes for a very ineffective lunge because it's slow in starting. It looks kind of like that. They're lacking the front leg kick. That front leg kick is referred to in an awful lot of fencing texts, and everybody kind of talks about it, but it's really not very well understood. For one thing, it's probably the wrong word, because all of our lives we've thought of a kick as coming up with a thigh and the knee. And that's not at all what this does. As a matter of fact, when you do this correctly, your knee actually ends up dropping a little bit. So maybe a better word would be better, like a front leg snap. And in doing so, we're going to apply one of Newton's third laws. It's the law of inertia that says that an object, once moving, wants to keep moving unless something acts on it. You can demonstrate this a bit to yourself by taking one of your arms, say this one, and throwing it hard and fast until it jerks to a stop because it can't go any further. The idea is that whatever tries to stop the object in motion gets that energy transferred to it. To completely isolate this kick or snap of the lower leg, you could do that by finding someplace like the edge of a door or a post or something where you can kind of lean your body weight against it and have your leg free to move. So you could just kind of lightly lift your foot and snap the heel forward as though you were about to kick something hard with your heel. Notice that my knee actually drops. This is what I was telling you earlier, that when you kick, your knee comes up. When you do this snap properly, the knee actually drops. It looks like this up close. The point of all this is that the energy of your leg snap should be transferred to your hip to pull you forward, to give your lunge a real quick start. In fact, you should probably feel a tug on your hip at the end of your snap, kind of like you felt a tug on your shoulder at the end of your shoulder throw that I demonstrated earlier. The whole point of this is to transfer the energy from the snap to your hip to pull you forward, to get your back leg in position to do its push correctly. In sequence then, beginning with the arm, the snap of the lower leg, the drive of the back leg should be in about this tempo. Arm kick drive, arm kick drive, arm kick drive. Now, I'm an old man, and my poor 77-year-old body doesn't particularly like the idea of real lunges, but you get the idea. Now, before I leave you today, I want to show you a couple of things that can go wrong with this. Things that you might fall into if you didn't know what to watch for. The first is to remember not to kick up. It's not this kind of motion, it's that kind of motion. Your foot wants to skim the floor. You don't want to do that. You want to do that. It's out with the front foot. The second thing that goes wrong, and it's a little more subtle, you may have to have a friend watch you or your coach, is that you don't want to shift your weight and then kick. If your weight's already in front of your, or over your front foot, then your front leg kick doesn't do you any good in terms of pulling you forward. It just gets your leg out quick enough so your face doesn't end up on the strip. So you're out here, or who knows what you're doing. You've got to be in place and let the legs pull you forward, not your upper body determining your center of gravity, but your footwork determining your center of gravity. Thank you very much for letting me share my thoughts with you on the front leg kick to improve your lunge. Until next time, happy fencing.
So, did you get something out of that? I hope so, because we might even hear more from Rudy. Cross our fingers, because he's great. He's a brilliant guy. But if you really like what he said and you're interested in having all these things broken down, again, think about getting this book. And again, there's a link below as to how you can purchase this if you're interested. Plus, the music is just kind of awesome. And if you're interested in his music, there's a link below for downloads of the music to play. So if you've liked this, please subscribe, please like, please share. If you've really enjoyed this and really enjoy learning through fencing, consider becoming a patron of Cyrano's Place through the Patreon page. Again, there's a link below. And help keep us going, making these, help support us. So let's take this out with some more of Rudy's music called 145 Jump. Appropriate for this, don't you think? Let's enjoy.